Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Christian Assassin stream, and welcome to the Christian Assassin YouTube for those of you who will be watching this after the recording has been done. Thank you so much for joining. Lexi, I see that you have joined in the not the Discord, in the chat here. Zach, Lexi, what did you do? Okay, Lexi, I think I know what the issue is. Have you... Hmm. All right. Give me a couple minutes, Lexi. Profile. Okay, maybe not that. Oh, Jeremiah, I didn't realize you had joined.
What's up, brother? Just popped in for a spell.
Okay, well, I am streaming here on Twitch, so say hi to the Twitch.
Hello, Twitch.
Um, and by a while, do you think that you'll be able to stay for the devotion itself?
I'll be able to stay for a little while. I want to pop in and see how you guys are doing and just check how things are going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then I am gonna have to head out. I have a Greek test tomorrow, so I'm going to have to study for a little bit before my brain fries.
Yeah, yeah, I know that feeling.
Do you? Do you? You know Greek?
Okay, maybe not that specific feeling, but I do have a geology exam this weekend to do.
Okay.
So yeah. Although technically speaking, mine is a little bit easier because it's open book because our professor has our for that specific class, she allows us to take it at wherever we're living, whether it be at the dorms or in our house. So
Take home test, basically.
pretty much, yeah. And it's online. So it's like, yeah, okay. So while I can tell you that it's looked down upon to do open book, I obviously cannot stop you from doing open book.
Right.
Which I will take it because I do not care about geology.
I just want to
At
pass.
all. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Also, Lexi says hi in the stream chat.
Hey, Lexi.
She also says prayers for the test, which, yes, absolutely. Prayers are definitely going to be going out to you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is true. Lexi just said open books are open books are the best, especially if you have a learning disability. That is
Yes.
absolutely 100% true. I personally think that all tests in college should be open book because yes, it's about whether or not you've learned something, but at the same time, we're spending an exorbitant amount of money to go to college in the first place.
Did I just hear money?
um, but yeah, so there's a lot that goes into college. Time,
Yeah.
money,
Money.
tears, money.
Money.
A lot of money.
Money. Oh my goodness. Well, bro, how did you take the news on Saturday? Well, no, not Saturday, Sunday.
um, I honestly I was pleasantly surprised. For those of you who do not know, in any of the chats that I have going on right now, both TikTok and Twitch, Jeremiah is engaged to be married. He proposed last Saturday. Honestly, it was actually the exact same day that he was the first ever three-peat guest of Talk at the Cross, one of the podcasts that I run.
Yep. It was pretty much an hour after I got off stream. Like Mickey appeared at my doorstep.
That's
Like,
hey, we could just say that Saturday was a good day for firsts.
it was. Like you remember before the stream, I told you like there is a possibility that a package could be coming at my door at any time, and I needed to be available. And you're like, okay, that's fine.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
See, you had. First off, very, very good job at keeping it under wraps for that. Because I did not realize that's what it was.
You shouldn't be congratulating me. You should be congratulating Mickey because she planned it. I had no idea that was happening.
Well,
dude, she recorded it. I'm not letting this video go onto the internet. But you should have seen how surprised I was when I saw her at my doorstep. Like I went full surprise caveman SpongeBob. It was not pretty.
Oh, now I kind of want to see that video. I'm not gonna post.
See?
I wouldn't post it, obviously.
Yeah, this is why I will never release it to the public.
But Lexi does say congrats. She's also listened to every single episode of my podcast, which I am 100% grateful for, Lexi. I definitely need more listens. If you could go do so on Spotify, so that way it actually registers in the Anchor app that people have listened to my podcast in Anchor. That would be great.
You know what? On the way to class, I'm going to have to re-listen to that bad boy so that I can go up.
Yeah. This week's episode was definitely the most interesting episode that I have done on the podcast today.
Almost
to this date.
And you know what's funny? This Tuesday, the God Logic Project, and a few other people on Clubhouse had a, I guess, sort of debate / discussion with a few Muslims on the issue of slavery in Christianity and slavery in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if we had some of the information that we put out in the live stream today, that would have been very helpful.
Yeah, it would have. It probably would. It really would have. So,
But I mean, the Christians held their own, and
yeah.
it got so bad that the Muslims basically kicked down God Logic and then ended the entire stream because they were embarrassed with how they behaved.
Oh, yeah, Lexi, that was oh, hello. Very, very large noise. Dark Samurai 2000, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. That so totally caught me off guard. Holy Moses.
Wow.
Oh man. But yeah, Lexi, that person I was talking with Narnia about on the podcast, that would be Jacob Whitfield. Very, very good friend, a good friend of mine. Um, he he actually, believe it or not, he is also reformed. He's also in
Ooh.
the reformed camp. Yeah, I didn't know that until we did the podcast with him. Um,
Non-denominational Baptist.
I believe he goes to a Baptist church, if I remember correctly.
Ah, so he's only half cringe. I'm sorry. I can't help but make fun of my Baptist friends because I'm a former Baptist. I have to. It's rights.
yeah, no, I understand. But yeah, so to go ahead and get started with the devotional, I know that Jeremiah, you probably won't be able to stay too long, but to go ahead and get started with what I set out to do this evening. So I'm going to start with a question. Now, Jeremiah, I understand that right now you are not currently a father. Though that could potentially change within the next couple of years.
Oh,
But for those of you who are either going to be a parent soon or hope to be a parent one day, I'm pretty sure every oh yeah, Lexi, sorry. Honestly, Jeremiah, you might actually be able to help with this a little bit.
sure. What's up?
So Lexi is having trouble verifying her email in order to fully get into the server. I don't know if you've ever run into that issue, because I did put it so that way we could get as little bots as possible. That
Right.
emails have to be verified.
I think generally the only thing you'd have to do is just, I mean, they'd send the verification to your email and let you do
Oh
it that
yeah,
way.
Lexi, do you remember your Discord password? Because if you remember your Discord password, or if you don't remember your Discord password, you might have to reset your Discord password.
In order to do it that way.
Yeah, you might have to reset your Discord password in your browser itself.
I think there's also a QR code option to log into your Discord. I'm not necessarily sure if that works for verification,
Probably
but
not.
That could help.
Not. Yeah, so Lexi, if anything, I would say change your Discord password, and then do what you need to do. That should hopefully clear everything up. So, in that case, while you do that, oh, okay. Well, this isn't going to be a weekly thing, Lexi. This is only going to be a monthly thing. Due to, school.
Scheduling.
Yeah, scheduling wise, I'll probably only be able to do it once a month. And even then, like, I'm going to also have a chat with the rest of the council members, see if they want to do a devotion, come up, do a quick study for the next month after that. Because I don't want to be the only one who speaks. So, um, hopefully, um, nope, you don't get to annoy me every week. Sorry. No, okay. So, everyone here, hopefully, has parents. And if you don't, I am sorry. Truly. So, one of the things that parents always do is discipline their children. I think we can all agree with that.
Yep.
And essentially, that's what the book of Hosea, specifically the first chapter, is talking about. Now, I want to point out that what happens in the book of Hosea does not necessarily apply to us Christians today. What I'm going to be doing, and this is something that all people who wish to teach from the Bible or about the Bible, be a pastor, whatever the case may be, is to teach expositorily. Now, what does that mean? Expository preaching is the way of preaching in which you preach or teach, rather, because I am not a preacher, I am not a pastor. Is you speak of the verses within the context of those verses and of the time frame of those verses and passages. That is very important. It's always important. So, I am going to go ahead and start reading. I will go up until verse 5. Jeremiah, if you have a Bible nearby, if you could read, when I'm done, read verses 6 through 11.
Hosea 1, you said?
Yep.
And then you're doing 1 through 5.
Yep.
And I'm taking 6 through 11.
That is correct.
Alrighty then.
All right. To go ahead and get started. Now, I am reading from the ESV because it's based.
We call that the elect standard version.
Exactly. Very much so. Very much so. So, Hosea chapter 1. The word of the Lord came to Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. When the Lord first spoke to Hosea, the Lord said to Hosea, "Go take for yourself a wife of whoredom." Please don't get me banned on Twitch for that word. This is just what the Bible is saying. Go take for yourself a wife of whoredom and have children of whoredom, for the land commits great whoredom by forsaking the Lord. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yep.
And she conceived and bore him a son. And the Lord said, "Call his name Jezreel, for in just a little while I will punish the house of Jehu for the blood of Jezreel, and I will put an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel. On that day I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel."
She conceived again and bore a daughter. And the Lord said to him, "Call her name No Mercy, for I will no more have mercy on the house of Israel, to forgive them at all. But I will have mercy on the house of Judah, and I will save them by the Lord their God. I will not save them by bow, or by sword, or by war, or by horses, or by horsemen." When she had weaned No Mercy, she conceived and bore a son. And the Lord said, "Call his name Not My People, for you are not my people, and I am not your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be like the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And in the place where it was said to them, "You are not my people," it shall be said to them, "Children of the living God." And the children of Judah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together, and they shall appoint for themselves one head, and they shall go up from the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Amen. Okay, so we're going to go. We're going to go about this a couple of verses at a time. Now, verses 2 and 3. What is God trying to say to the nation of Israel by having Hosea, his newest prophet at that time, in the beginning of this book? What is the Lord trying to say to the people of Israel through this? Well, if we look back into the passage, it quite literally says this: "For the land commits great whoredom by forsaking the Lord." So essentially, what God is saying is that no matter how many times Israel went away from what the Lord instructed them to do, and this is true for both the kingdom of Judah and Israel, because they were both pretty crappy when it came to following the law, like very crappy. If you just read First, Second Chronicles, First, Second Kings, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. But no matter how many times the people of Israel, for lack of a better analogy, cheated on God, God always forgave them. Always. And we will see this later on when we get to chapter 3, because this is also going to be in the same study. We will see that seen more in depth. Also, give me a second. Someone replied to...
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to head out. I'll see you later, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining and for reading.
Of course. Take care.
Absolutely. Have a great one. Okay, so to continue on. So for those of you who don't know what Gomer was a prostitute. And a prostitute is someone who has has sex for money. It's illegal today, and it was illegal in the time of Hosea. By the Mosaic law, you were not allowed to be a prostitute. Yet they were still prostitutes. So Hosea went and took a wife whose name was Gomer. Now the first child born of this marriage, we're getting into verses 4 and 5 now. The first child born of this marriage was Jezreel, or as his Hebrew name is pronounced, Yisrael. Now this child was the promise that God will punish Israel for their transgressions and for leaving the law and their faith in God. Now, why is that? Why would God, who many people say of God, God is a God of love? Well, God is also a father. Now, my father, I love him so much. He is the prime example of what I want to be as a man, as a Christian man. And when I was a child, if I ever screwed up, he would punish me. There are consequences to our actions. Always will be. Now, just because God punishes does not mean he doesn't love. Something else we have to remember is that the Bible also says that God is a jealous God. What that means is God is someone who doesn't like other things being put before him. Now, people are going to say, "Oh, but that's prideful." No, it's not. Absolutely not. It is not pride in any way. God is the creator of the universe. And so if God is the creator of the universe, he has the ability and the right to say whatever he wants. It's that simple. And so the second child, getting into verses 6 and 7, is named Lo Rahama, which is the Hebrew name for his daughter, which means, as Jeremiah read earlier, no mercy. For the Lord will no longer forgive and show mercy towards Israel. This does not mean he would not redeem them. What this means is that God's punishment will be absolute. God's punishment will be so terrible that it looks like he no longer has mercy on the nation of Israel. For in this promise of this child, because each of Hosea's children is a promise to Israel, this promise is the promise of the scattering of Israel, the scattering of the Jews, of the Hebrew people. For as we will see, as we see in the historical accounts of Chronicles and Kings, Israel is destroyed, and their people are taken into captivity, not as slaves, but as prisoners. They are carted off to Babylon, to Persia, scattered amongst the nations. God's will is absolute. Getting into verses 9 to 11, the third and final child of Hosea was Lo Ami, or not my people. This is the promise of the divorce between God and the Mosaic covenant, the law of Moses. To say the law of Moses is no longer what you need to put your faith in. And the return, it's not only a divorce from the law of Moses, but also it is a return to the original covenant that God made with their ancestors, Abraham. A return to the Abrahamic covenant. For in verse 10 it says, "Yet the children of Israel shall be like the sand of the sea." That is almost exactly what God describes to Abraham, where he says Abraham's descendants shall be innumerable. Verse 11. The Lord will also say that without that they will no longer be told, you are not my people. And they will no longer be just the people of God. But rather, within this new covenant, the covenant of Jesus, sacrificial covenant, they shall be known as children of the living God. And now we get into verse 3. As we talked about a little bit ago. In verse 1, chapter 3, verse 1. I'll go ahead and read it. And the Lord said to me, go again, love a woman who is loved by another man and is an adulteress, even as the Lord loves his children of Israel, though they return to other gods and love cakes of raisins. So I bought her for 15 shekels of silver, and a homer and a lethek of barley. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. So please bear with me. And I said to her, you must dwell as mine for many days. You shall not play the whore or belong to another man. And so I will be to you. For the children of Israel may dwell many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or pillar, without ephod or household gods. Afterward, the children of Israel shall return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and they shall come in fear to the Lord and to his goodness in the latter days. Now, this is not God saying, after Gomer left Hosea, to go and find a new wife. No, this was God saying, go get her. Go get your wife. Redeem her. Redeem your bride. One of the names that is constantly referred to us as Christians is the bride of Christ. For Gomer had left Hosea and was unfaithful to him. However, the Lord instructed him to go and redeem her, to buy her back, essentially. For in the law of Moses, if a woman is caught in the act of adultery, one of two things will happen. One of two things. Either that woman is put to death by stoning, or if the husband is still willing to have her, he will redeem her for 15 shekels and a homer and lethek of barley. And in the verses following, verse 2, in which Hosea redeems his wife as Christ redeemed his bride through his sacrifice on the cross. A perfect picture, I might add. Hosea instructs her to not leave her again. Leave him. Words. My brain. Hosea instructs Gomer to not leave him again and to dwell with him, to live with him, be his wife, raise the children, be a mother. just as he will be so to her and the children. Verse 4 and on talks about how Israel shall be without the law, for the law is no longer applicable for salvation. And how Israel will dwell without prince or king, any federal head of any kind, without sacrifices. For a very long time, Israel will do this. I believe it was 700 years. No, 70. Sorry, 70. It was 70 years. It was 70 years between captivity and the return to the land of Israel, in which that was 2 generations, if I remember correctly. I don't know. But in verse 5, they shall return to the Lord their God, and they shall continue in the ways of David their king, in whose line Jesus belongs. Now, the first recorded promise we see of the divorce of Israel is in Jeremiah 3, verse 8. And in that verse, the word that is used for divorce in the original Hebrew is kirithuth. Kirithuth. Which means to divorce or to do away with the contract. So, while this is originally as a promise to the nation of Israel and to the nation of Judah, there is something that we can take away from this. Is that no matter how many times we mess up, God is still there. But there are consequences. For God is a father. He is a good father. He is our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be his name. And with that, that is all I got. I did have music prepared, but because I'm the only one in the Discord chat, I can't exactly play that. So, that is all for this evening. Because if I try and play the music over Twitch, then Twitch is not going to like me at all. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope that this was educational. And, yeah. If you want to be able to watch again, you'll see this on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. You have an amazing, amazing day.